Good morning, everybody. So this is an open day session to present the Mass and International Business, a regular class. I would like to start with a short introduction, which will give you an understanding of both the content and the environment you may be exposed to. I'm not sure those who are online, if they are from Milan, if they are already studying in Milan, if they are Cattolica students, in case you are not. One of the reasons why we were attracting students from all over the world is also the fact that Milan is probably the Italian hub with the largest appeal, and which also allows to have better professional opportunities and welcomes warmly people from all over the world. We have, as a matter of fact, students from all countries across the world. I think over the time the program has started some 20 years ago, we had 55 nationalities. And also the faculty is pretty international, and that is consistent with the fact that the Mass International Business aims to prepare people who are interested in a career on international business. Just to inform everybody joining, while presenting, I'm not able to read the chat. So I'm asking Maria if eventually there is something relevant we can handle or we get questions in the end. If someone has got a specific question, please do not hesitate to ask. I was saying that we have a program that is designed to prepare people working on international business, and accordingly we have an international group of participants and an international faculty. The way the program is designed is really making the difference between a master program and an ordinary university course, since it allows to mix both theoretical frameworks, which are useful to handle specific issues, also for those who are not necessarily familiar with management issues. I will come back to this issue later, but roughly the background, academic background of our students includes 60% roughly people coming from studies in business and economics, while all the other, say 40 to 45% usually comes from scientific fields, engineering, agriculture studies, mathematics, sometimes physics, plus political science, law, foreign languages, etc. So it's really a diverse group of participants, which in a sense, it's a challenge because we are keen in offering a program which is likely to be followed properly by everyone with different backgrounds. And we have designed pre-courses to ice-breaking on some topics which may turn to be new for those who do not have a management background. And also the way the different contents are offered to students allow everybody with whatever background, although motivated and interested in the program, to have a good feedback on this experience. Once the program is completed, from the teaching part, you will have the opportunity to join firms within internships. We have what we call practical work activities, where the internship is the last one. I will be more precise when I present the entire outlook of the program. Once you have completed the internship, it's likely that you get an offer to be selected by the firms you've been working with. We have actually a placement rate which is around 93% after 6 months from graduation, which is pretty good. We have now a quite interesting group of alumni, and we are trying to foster the relationships also across generation, since networking is also an important issue. You may be seated next to someone who's going to be the person in charge of activities in foreign countries you might be required to work with, and entirely the university campus in Milan, as I was mentioning earlier, is a good opportunity to favor this integration among different background, nationalities, cultural languages. The way the program is organized may be easier to understand if we concentrate on the 3 terms of the program. The program starts October the 2nd, although we have 2 weeks per courses from mid-September. We have core courses which are scheduled from Wednesday to Friday. Usually the lecture hours are from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. What happens on Mondays and Tuesdays? Well, we start one of the practical work activities I was referring to, which is a quite important one. We have usually around 15 companies coming to present themselves, their international strategy, the industry they're working with. We learn about the people we have invited, could be executives, CEOs, or functional managers. And this is already a pretty important opportunity to get close to the topics we will deal with as far as the program is concerned. What brings together all these different companies, the fact they have got an international exposure, should it be an established one, large corporation? If you want to have a look at the set of companies we regularly work with, you can visit our internet site, and there will be a section devoted to the what we call the MIB business network. Other firms are smaller organization, family business, or in some cases also startups with a strong international interest. At the very beginning of the program, we also carry on what we call a study tour, which is an opportunity to spend an entire weekend in a different city. Sometimes this is the first opportunity for, in particular, the non-Italian participants to visit these cities. We associate an opportunity to visit firms to the chance of having some cultural events, and is also a team building occasion, since we are really at the beginning of the program. Second term comes slightly after the Christmas vacation. And as far as the core courses, we have the same organization than term one. What changes is the activity that takes place on Mondays and Tuesdays, which are in this case devoted to the second practical work activity we have designed for the program, which is fieldworks. There again, we work with companies. Some of them may be those who already came to present themselves during the business talks. Other are parts of the business network, or there are newcomers each year which are enriching the offer that we propose to students. In other words, we talk with firms, they identify a project and a company coach. We assign a tutor, and we form small groups of, say, 3 people who are going to work in depth on this assignment. Mondays and Tuesdays, full-time, 8 hours per day are devoted to this activity across the entire second term. The output of this activity is a report and a presentation which is made in front of the firms, and it challenged already the students, bringing them to deal with some very practical issues. We have also company visits during this term. One is scheduled within the topics of international supply chain and logistics, but other could be added from year to year. At the end of the second term, you begin the third term, which is fully devoted to the internship. There again, we are talking about a practical work activity. It's the third that we have designed as far as the program is concerned. People who were working in fieldworks may be selected for internships. Other will be offered opportunities that comes from the MIB business networks. Beside, Università Cattolica has got a database which is called Stage and Placement, which daily offers opportunities for students to apply for internship, and some students are also keen on working in specific fields and countries and type of organizations, so they find themselves their internship. So the internship can be done either in Milan or elsewhere. Imagine you are coming from another town in Italy and you have a relationship with a company there. You can certainly, provided that the project is consistent with the program contents, work with these organizations. Same thing for those who are coming from different countries and are interested in going back as far as the internships are concerned. The internship lasts at least 3 months. Most of the project nowadays lasting 6 months. The final exam, which ends the academic activities of the Master International Business, is focused on the experience you have done through the internship. You are required to prepare a final report, present and discuss that in a final session in front of the board. what do you study as far as the Master in International Business? We have tried to select topics which are relevant as far as the internationalization process of firms is concerned. So we have sort of clustered the different topics in 5 main areas, which you can see here on the chart. Most of them are concentrated in the management area, from international finance, banking, strategy and entrepreneurship, marketing, brand management, economic and financial analysis, international people management. Then you have contents refer to the economics area, then global supply chain management has got technical and quantitative features which are also offered to the participants. There is obviously a legal area, since we talk about international contracting and different legal system across the world. And we have also a 5th area, which is something that we think important, since it contributes to develop an understanding of what is the interpersonal relationship across cultures. It's a matter of fact, 11 out of the 12 topics are distributed in the first and second term, while social skills and emotional intelligence, this final session that is presented here on the chart, is a topic which goes from the first to the second term, and is the opportunity to gain also skills as far as negotiations and foreign culture understanding is concerned. Who are the teachers? There are, of course, Università Cattolica teachers, but also professional. We have Italians, European teachers, but also others that come from across the world. Sarah Detheridge is Australian, Julio Gonzalez is Mexican. We have quite a variety of speakers who are contributing to the faculty of the Master in International Business. I was mentioning the MIB business network. This is a chart that sum up some of the relationship we have developed over time. This is not exhaustive. We have around 120 relationship with firms that we activate depending also on the requirement of the firms. Say ABB is interested in presenting itself, offering field work, which possibly will then generate an internship. So we work with ABB in the coming year. Last year we worked with Autogrill or Eon or Sky and so on. So really we have various companies who are regularly partnering with the Master in International Business, plus new ones who are added every year to our set of relationships. These industry connections will make easier the organization of business talks, fieldworks, company visits, and in the end also internships and the opportunity to join firms to start professional careers. As I was mentioning earlier, the placement is pretty good. well, almost everybody. We have a few students are continuing their studies with a PhD. A few other will have a maternal leave, but apart from these exceptions, everybody is placed within 6 months after the end of the program. Of course, with different type of contracts and in different countries. However, that is a good sign of health as far as the program is concerned. There is a strong relationship between the internship and the work opportunities once finished the program, since the first opportunity of working often comes from the firms that people have been working with during the internship, provided they had a good experience, they were committed, and that is something that pays off whatever the type of activity we are offering to participants. Many students have got success. We have a minister of Georgia, I think, really in international trade, if I recall correctly. But besides more exposed professional careers, we have people in different positions. Some of them are also leading firms, since, as I said, the program was first launched some 20 years ago. And I think the companies are also pretty keen in working with us as far as the students we are preparing are concerned. It's a matter of fact that 12 topics, the 12 subjects you have seen earlier are constantly updated due to the need of changing international environment. You can easily understand that 20 years ago, international business was pretty different than it is nowadays. There was the rise of China. We have a geopolitical situation nowadays, which is really difficult. We have the contribution of innovation, and in particular digital technology, which has changed most activities within and outside the firm. So anything that we are referring to needs to be updated according to this evolution. Definitely, the MIB offer a global learning experience, starting from the variety of the nationalities that are joining the program, to the faculty I was mentioning, and the fact that we constantly refer to case studies or activities in different fields that refer to internationalization. For the non-Italians, the year, at least 1 year, I will explain later why I'm saying at least, the year they spend in Italy is also the opportunity to learn another language and or to upgrade their Italian knowledge, which also helps when it comes about finding a job, of course, in Italy. On the other hand, Italian students will be exposed to very different cultures. You can't imagine how interesting is discussing a case study with the perspective of an Indian student, a Chinese student, a German student, a US student, an Italian student, a Spanish student, because really we live in a global environment, but still we have very different backgrounds and perspectives on specific issues. And this is something the MIB student will learn to apply in its professional activity then. At the very beginning, we start also what we call a career development support. We have a person in charge to help you starting from the what you have provided during the application process. We ask you to write a motivation letter, to have compelling bio that is attached to your application. And we start to understand who you are, the experience you have done, also outside your studies, your interests, the social activities you have developed. And one of the first steps in these career development support is redesigning your CV, because it also requires some expertise, some skills. We will then try to guide you throughout the business talks, having not just a passive attendance to the talks we organize, but also trying to brief the speeches who are upcoming and try to debrief those who already took place. So that helps also to understand what the people we are inviting have done and their their own career development. Then we mention the field works, and then we start with the preparation to the internship search. If you want to apply to the Master in International Business, well, I suppose if you're here, you have read some information on both the Università Cattolica and the MIB internet site. The way the selection takes place is based on the assessment of your application, which is based on 4 different items, which are each of them counting for as much as 20 points. So in the end, you can reach up to 100 points. Those who are qualifying, which doesn't mean necessarily will be admitted, because it also depends on the number of the application and the quality of the application. Those who are reaching at least 60 points may be admitted to the course. What are the 4 dimensions in which we assess the application? Well, let's start with your academic background, what you have done, your university careers. Then we try to understand what brought you to an application to MIB, and we will also discuss in interview that we normally schedule to better know the applicants, what are your motivations. Then, of course, we required an English language proficiency, and that could be certified through a recognized test, or we can also provide a test. So basically, you really need to have a good understanding of English, and shouldn't bother too much if you haven't already certified test. So the understanding of your profile is also strongly based on your what you put in your bio, and that allows us to understand more about your own profile. The application deadline for the international student has expired, so we have already a quite large number of non-Italian participants, while the domestic application deadline is September the 4th. So those who are joining here have got more than 1 month to prepare their application. Although, as I said, the way we are organized is first come, first served. So if you are interested to apply, do not hesitate, and we are here to answer possible questions you may have after the presentation. We have some opportunities. Most of them have already expired, as a matter of fact, since we have early bird scholarships, which are pretty important, but they were all already gone. We have up to 10 scholarships. Then we have scholarship reserved to non-Italian students based on merit, their background, their profile, the country they come from, the type of studies they have done. The rationale of that is that we have some requirements from firms which may change from year to year, and say, I don't know, some companies are interested to select a mechanic engineer from Turkey. So we set up a scholarship to that. Graduated from Università Cattolica can almost automatically gain a discount since once they join the alumni of Cattolica. There are, but this is not something we are directly dealing with. There are financial aids provided through agreements between the university and some large banks. In some Italian regions, there are also specific incentives to specializing in university studies, but that varies from areas to one area to another. There are also some low-interest loans, which nowadays may turn to be important for students coming from some specific countries, and some of them sometimes are also enjoying international scholarships, which are assigned on a competition base. Well, I'm not sure we have a slide on that, but talking about the scholarship and the financial aid, I think it's worth also to mention the tuition fees, which are as much as 12,000 euros, which may be paid in different installment. The first one is as much as 3,000 euro, which allows you to be then enrolled. The other payments are, I think, the end of the year, another one in springtime, and possibly a fourth one by June or something like that. But you may have more details on that available on the internet site. We have, of course, both at MIB, at Cattolica University, and in Milan, various opportunities to be involved in a thrilling studying experience. For those who are not familiar with the Università Cattolica, is based right in the center of Milan, with the largest campus for a private university across Europe. This position is also interesting from the logistic point of view. You can also live in the surrounding of Milan and be able to reach the city center pretty easily with all the transportation facilities. But being in Milan and staying here beside the class hours is also an opportunity to enrich your own university experience. I was talking about the duration of studies. Well, it's a matter of fact, everybody applying to MIB will join what we call the fast track. Fast track lasts 12 months, so you are theoretically able to end the program by October, end of September, beginning of October, 1 year later. It's a matter of fact, often that will last longer because, as I said, internship where the minimum length is 3 months are usually up to 6 months. So in that case, you will have 3 months more before graduating. There is also the possibility to freeze your pipeline toward the internship and get what we call the MIB international track, which is an additional term that you may spend at a partner university. We have a few specific relationship between MIB and this university, where you, beside the fact of living abroad for a period of time, which is a third country in case of non-Italian student, a second country for the Italian students, you will be able also to specialize on specific fields, maybe, I don't know, oil and gas, real estate, digital marketing, sustainability. These are the excellence, the main topics which are dealt with by the partner universities. Starting this academic year, we will also offer, by the way, to complete the description of this international track, it allows you to gain up to 100 credits. The fast track counts for as many as 70 credits. The workload that is required at MIB is larger than the conventional metrics, which worth as many as 60 credits as far as 1 year of university studies are normally concerned. But you can get additional 30 degrees through the international track, which, as I was saying, starting the upcoming year, will be able to be carried out also in Milan. So this international focus experience, this is the way we call these opportunities that we offer beyond the fast track, will be a focus on specific topics. We can present them as electives. Here, quickly, I mention a few of them. We will get back to that with the specific details by roughly February, end of January, when people start to think if they want or not join the international track. I repeat once again, it's not is a completely optional opportunity, is not mandatory at all. It costs €5,000, and that's something. It's a special rate we have with the partner university we have mentioned earlier, and which applies to those who are joining these specific electives that I'm about to describe. One is about Vietnam. We've called Vietnam Business Management. It's a matter of fact, this is the year that will celebrate the 50 years diplomatic relationship between Italy and Vietnam. Vietnam is a pretty interesting country. It's the largest growing economy besides China as far as Asia is concerned. And you know, Asia is the continent where the economy grows more than anywhere else. Many firms, European, North American, and a few Italians too, are pretty keen about the Vietnamese market, or are planning or have set up facilities, activities, plans in these countries, which offers somehow a complementary profile than the Italian economy. And they're pretty strong on mechanics. There are subcontractors in traditionally strong business activities of the Italian economics, such as fashion. It's a country which is also keen in innovation, and there are many projects as far as green energies and digital technologies are concerned. So one elective is about Vietnam business management. A second one is about live sports and entertainment event management. We do that. By the way, the former one will be done in partnership with the Italian Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam, while this one is done in partnership with the Luciano Pavarotti Foundation, which, as you know, has got quite an expertise as far as organizing global events. Well, if you think carefully, showbiz and sport businesses are really icon of globalization. And in particular, the live events are gaining ground as far as the revenue generation in different fields. I'm talking about music, opera, theater, concerts, sport events in different fields. So these elective deals with the opportunity of being in a global business and be able of dealing with live event management. The third elective, it's really about new frontier of technological innovation. We do that in partnership with Microsoft, and it's called AI-driven business models. It's within a field of expertise we have developed over time. When I say we, I refer to the Center of Research and International Management, which is something which is pretty close to the design of the Mass International Business. I'm the head, the scientific director of ECRIM, that is the short name of the Center of Research. And we have one lab about new technologies. In the past, we've worked with Accenture, which, by the way, will become an interesting partners because we are about to close, it is not mentioned yet in the official document, but we have been closing an agreement with the Accenture Alumni Association, which allows us to have a partnership with experts who either worked at Accenture or have worked in their career development with Accenture, who are partner of the program. Talking about the field works, I was mentioning the fact that we appoint tutors to each group. So among them, maybe someone that had a career at Accenture will be considered as far as the upcoming academic year is concerned. We have other partners in this field. We then deal with one topic which is certainly at the edge of the Italian visibility and international trade presence, which is the world of luxury. You probably be familiar with the 4 F's of luxury, which stands for food, furniture, fashion, and Ferrari. And often Ferrari stands for the automotive or mechanic field. We are concentrating on 3 F's out of the 4, so food, fashion, and furniture. And the goal of this elective will be trying to show what are the best practices that have been developed in each field, which may be transferable in another field of luxury. This is something we are observing. There is the phenomenon of the brand stretching, which is common to different segments of the luxury industries. We will have absolutely outstanding speakers in the program, and we do that with another partner, which is the Style Gate, which is a boutique consulting firm on the luxury industry. We have students who left their own view about the program on the internet site. Some of them are also available for a chat if you are interested. We have what we called MIB ambassadors. So if among the audience we have students from across the world, it's probably likely that in your country there will be one MIB alumni we have selected as an ambassador who will be able to transfer his or her own experience about being at MIB.